still what looks to possibly be a very good game coming up now between Briar Cliff and Cardinal Stritch. The starting lineups are being given to the crowd here in Point Lookout. Let's go ahead and give them to you at home as well. First for Briar Cliff, they will be in their home white uniforms. Again, they are the unseeded team after pulling off an upset of Grace out of Indiana last night. They're going to go with Tyler Murin. He is a 6-foot junior guard from Colon, Nebraska, as well as Eric Rowe, a 6-foot senior forward for Lamar's, Iowa. Jake Shipley, a 6'8" junior guard, State Center, Iowa. Ben Sitzman, a 6'3" senior guard, Sioux City, Iowa. And finally, Michael Collison, a 6'10" junior center from Iowa Falls, Iowa. Yes, indeed, this is the brother of the Collison that played at Kansas. And looks a little bit like him. Skills, obviously, maybe not quite to that level, but this kid can play basketball.
But you can see the net coming out of him, the way that he moves out there.
This kid can play basketball as well. Starting lineup for Cardinal Stritch. They will go with Tom Smith, 6-foot freshman guard from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Derek Simonez, a 6'3" sophomore guard, Rosendale, Wisconsin. Nick Ford, a 5'8" junior guard, as well as Navahat Singh, a 6'4" senior forward from Mundelein, Illinois, and Derek Wolfer, a 6'6" senior center from Marshall, Wisconsin. Cardinal Stritch comes into the game 29-5 on the season, ranked number 6 in America in NAIA Division II, and Briar Cliff unseeded 21-10.
Oh, I tell you what, the number 6 Cardinal Stritch University Wolves scathed by last night. It was really didn't lead until the last minute and a half of the ball game, the entire game, and then finally was able to get over the hump, the proverbial hump, and was able to finish out the game and advance to play Briar Cliff, who, as you said, is an upset winner of the number 11 seed Grace.
And indeed, very, very fortunate to be here. Our Cardinal Stritch, Eastern Oregon, just could not quite put them away, and it's Eastern Oregon ends up going home. Final game, one ticket left. We'll find out which one of these teams will make it to the quarterfinals to be played tomorrow here in Point Lookout. Ball is in the air. Tip is going to be controlled by the Chargers, and so Briar Cliff will get first crack at it. Murin dribbles across the timeline with that left hand, throws it over into the corner. This is Sitzman with it. Sitzman back up in between the circles. Rowe looking inside. They've got the man. Shot is going to roll in, and that's Michael Collison first on the board.
Michael Collison looked for the Chargers to look to him over and over and over again, because their center for the Wolves, Derek Wolfer, 6'6", but he's about 285 pounds, so Collison can out-quick him as long as plus he's 6'10" versus 6'6".
Wolfer, cross-court pass, Ford with it now, dribbles with his left hand and starts to direct traffic from out there. Simonez with it, looking to get the ball to Singh, cannot do so. Ball is tipped away and stolen. Murin runs the floor, stops, gets the ball back. Left side of the floor, this is Seitzman with it, inside. Shot gonna be no good, but a charge, we're going the other way.
A better serve probably that time if Rowe had gone ahead and just dumped it off to Michael Collison right at the last, because Wolfer had come over to help and Michael was standing there all by himself, but a charge foul has been called against Rowe.
We played 1 minute. We have one score. It's 2-0. 2-0 in favor right now of Briar Cliff. It's Cardinal Stritch with it. 10-foot jump shot is blocked and then saved inbounds as the Chargers come away with it. Running left side of the floor. This is Seitzman inside. His shot is blocked away, and now it's Cardinal Stritch going the other way. Weaving in and out is Ford. He does not have the numbers, pulls it out, ends up getting the ball back. He stops at the free throw line. Gives the ball up to Wolfer and then ends up getting it back. They'll reset the entire offense. Still 20 seconds to shoot on the shot clock. Dribbles with his left hand over in front of his bench. Bounce past the Singh in between the circles. His shot no good. Rebound comes out long, and Murin has it for the Chargers. Feels a little contact back outside. Three-point shot underway. It is no good. Wolfer clears the rebound for Cardinal Stritch. Outlet pass to Ford. He runs the floor. Throws it left side to Simonez. Simonez back to Wolfer. Wolfer throws it right side down into the corner. Wolfer gets it, logs it inside, shot good for Singh.
Singh come up and made the screen and then rolled to the basket, and Wolfer on the high-low pass able to get it to Singh, and we're tied at 2-2, 17:45 to go in the first half.
Chargers with it in the half-court set. Move the ball right side. This is Murin with it. Long pass over to the left side now to Seitzman. Seitzman bounce pass into the corner. Murin wants three. It's off the side of the backboard. No good, but long tip out. Keeps it with the Chargers. We've played about 2.5 minutes. Chargers are tied with the Wolves, and now they turn the ball over, and it's Cardinal Stritch trying to go the other way. Pull up just inside the three-point arc is going to be good.
Jimenez picking up the easy basket, about a 15-footer right at the elbow as we go to the other end. Briarcliff puts up the shot, no good, and here comes Cardinal Stritch.
Cardinal Stritch trying to just go coast to coast. Layup is going to be good in traffic. Tony Smith hits the basket, and it is a 6-0 run for Cardinal Stritch. First basket of the game was scored by Briarcliff. All 6 points since then have gone to the Wolves. Ball worked around the perimeter, right side, free throw line extended. This is Jimenez with it, cross-court pass. Gives it back, to Murin. Had my teams mixed up there for a second. We've got it straight. Seitzman with it, cross-court, Murin. Murin dribbles with the right hand in between the legs. Double team, gets rid of the basketball. Down low, Shipley into the lane with the right hand. It will not go. Rebound is pulled down by Ford, runs the right side of the floor for the Wolves. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Wolfer, and a reach-in foul as Singh was battling on the inside with a couple of different players for the Chargers.
And the foul is going to be called against Eric Rowe, as that's his second, as he was battling with Singh inside, as you said, and was guilty of holding Singh, and 2 fouls against the Chargers and both against Rowe.
And the ball is thrown in. Wolves have it in the corner, drive along the baseline. Outside, Singh has a look at three, instead pulls it down, goes into the lane. Spin move, shoot, scores. Singh with 4, and it's 8-2. Chargers in the front court. Left side, Brown in the game now. Stops at the free throw line, throws it right side to Murin. Murin to Collison. Collison back outside to Engler. Ball finally ends up back in the hands of Murin. Now right side, Brown. Bounce pass, Shipley. Shipley, three-pointer. Little off, no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds, and it was last touched by Cardinal Stritch. It'll stay with the Chargers.
Shipley kind of struggled last night from the field, and thus far he's not really on track yet, but he's such a good scorer as Shipley, coming in averaging 18 points a game, that he'll get his shot down during this game, and he can score in bunches.
15:29 left to go first half. 8-2 our scores. Cardinal Stritch in front of Briarcliff. Inbound pass, I see Collison underneath, shoot, scores. Michael Collison, second field goal of the game.
Has all 4 points for the Chargers, does Michael Collison, as he caught a tough pass to catch, and then was able to put it up and in off the glass.
Singh, right side, Jimenez with it. Popping out to help now, this is Ford. Ford stops his left-handed dribble, gives it to Singh. Free throw line jumper, good. It is a 10-4 game. We have played 5 minutes. Chargers now in the front court. Ball at the free throw line, Engler. Engler bounce pass, was able to get it over to Shipley. Shipley finds Collison. Collison is double teamed, able to get rid of it over on the left side. Spin move, underneath, shot, Collison, no good, but he was fouled.
Fouled by Singh inside, as Briarcliff doing a good job of sharing the basketball, and Michael Collison got the ball right at the rim. As he was headed up to throw it down, Singh comes over and fouls him, so it'll be 2 shots for Michael Collison.
Hits the first free throw, up to 5. All 5 points of the game so far for Briarcliff. Still has 1 free throw to go. Puts his feet up to the line. Squares, shoots, little bit long, no good. And the rebound pulled down by Cardinal Stritch. Cardinal Stritch a 10-5 lead and the basketball. 14.5 minutes left to go first half. This is Simpson with it. Skips in between the circles over on the right side. Bounce pass underneath the Wolfer. Back outside, Simpson. Trying to create, right side, D'Amico. Back outside, Simpson. Simpson driving with the left hand, puts up a long, high runner, no good. Offensive rebound keeps it with Cardinal Stritch. A shot from three, no good for Missouri, and the ball is out of bounds. Actually a foul.
Jeremy D'Amico of the Wolves is the recipient of the foul call as he was pushing on the rebound that time in underneath. And it'll be Charger basketball, still trailing 10-5.
And so it's Briarcliff with the basketball into the front court. Underneath, ball lost momentarily. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Cardinal Stritch. It will stay with the Chargers. 13:48 left to go in the first half. Shipley will Shipley will trigger the inbound play here. Gets the ball into Collison, or excuse me, that's Lone into the game now. Back in between the circles, Shipley, right side of the floor. Seitzman running over to pick it up now was Engler. Engler dribbles with the left hand down to 3 seconds to shoot. They're going to have to hurry. They're not going to get a shot up. They finally do. Do not hit the rim. And it is a shot clock violation.
Good defense that time by Cardinal Stritch. You know, you look out there and watch Stritch warm up. Don't really impress you. Don't really scare you by any stretch of the imagination. But once the game gets started, they come down, execute, makes their shots, and will have a 10-5 lead over Briarcliff.
And going straight to the basket, nobody picking him up, is Mike Simpson as his right-handed little runner goes. And it is a 12-5 game. Chargers with it, left-handed dribble. Shipley at the free throw line, leans in, gets it to go.
Shipley, and like I say, you get Shipley untracked, and he can score and score in a hurry. That time a little floater just went up and dropped it in from about 13 feet out straight on.
Simpson again into the lane, pulls up, shoots, kind of tripped up, but it was inadvertent, and it's Chargers coming away with the basketball. Ball goes across the timeline. Simonez with it, dribbles with the right hand, picks up his dribble, cross-court pass, ends up in the hands of Radke. Radke down to the corner. This is Engler with it. Engler back to Shipley. Engler tries to go in between the double team and gets the left-handed shot to go. John Engler on the score.
Cardinal Stritch coming into this game, into this tournament, riding a 12-game winning streak, now 13 after their first round victory. So Cardinal Stritch definitely knows how to win, 28-5 overall and a 14-0 conference record. So that bodes well for Cardinal Stritch out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Foul going to be whistled against Briarcliff. John Engler, that's his first personal foul, third team foul. Ball to be inbounded underneath the basket. It will be Drigger with Simonez. Singh gets it. Simpson now, popping in between the circles now. This is Simonez. Bounce pass inside Wolfer. Tries to continue to spin, shoots, and draws enough contact for a foul. The big man will go to the line.
And as big as he is, and as non-athletic as he looks, he will fool you. That time he got the ball down on the block, set his feet, and was able to use a drop step and then a up and under move and draw the foul against Tim Lone.
Free throw, rolls around the rim and falls home. First points of the game for him.
Tim Lone last night got himself into foul trouble, got 2 fouls very quickly and had to sit for a long extended period of time in the first half. So he didn't get to play as much as he normally does. And but that is his first foul, and Derek Wolfer misses the second, so he makes 1 of 2.
Free throw is off. Murin with it, throws it right side. This is Seitzman. Seitzman in between his legs. Nobody picks him up. He shoots a three, scores it.
Seitzman come off a pick right at the top of the key, and like you say, nobody comes up there to put any pressure on him, and just measured the shot and made the shot from about 22 feet out.
I guess we'll go with actual pronunciation because it's Sitzman instead of Seitzman. We apologize, Ben, and all Briarcliff fans. It's the last game of the day. Final game of the second round. These two teams playing, trying to get into the national quarterfinals. 11-16 left in the first half. It's a 13-12 game. Shot on the run, no good. Cardinal Stritch pulls down the rebound and trying to look for their first lead here. Actually, they led 2-0. Cardinal Stritch with the lead. Shot is going to be, actually, shot will not go. It was traveling.
Singh got the ball in there and simply forgot to put the ball on the floor prior to turning and going to the basket and call for the travel as the Chargers will come down now with only a 1-point deficit facing them.
Now the score has been corrected, and if you're watching on the online, you haven't had it right all along. Cardinal Stritch in the lead here. It's a 13-12 lead for the Wolves. I misspoke just a moment ago. Ball inside along the block. Here is the shot, going to be short, no good. Offensive rebound and a foul from behind. Shipley with the position inside after the shot and was able to pick up an over-the-back call.
And the foul is going to go against Wolfer, the big boy inside for Cardinal Stritch. And that time Shipley just out-quicked everybody. Knew he had shot the ball, knew where it was coming off, and went and got it and drew the foul.
So inbound play coming up. Off the pass, shot is going to be no good, a little bit long. And the ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Chargers. It will be Cardinal Stritch ball. Murin had a good look at it, just couldn't get it to drop.
Yeah, he had all the time in the world to look at it and study the shot, but sometimes you have too much time. You're better off just catching the ball and releasing the ball immediately.
Simpson into the front court. Throws it to Singh. Nice backdoor play, and the layup is going to go for Simonez.
Pretty play that time by the Wolves.
15-12 the score. 10-18 left to go. Left side, wide open. Look at three. It's a little bit off. No good. Singh clears the rebound for Stritch. Outlet pass. Ford runs the floor. Goes left. This is Simpson underneath. Wolfer shot. No good. Just a little bit too strong off the board, and the big man goes down, and we're going to have a stoppage and play to check on him.
I think an inadvertent hand to the face as he went to the basket to shoot, did Wolfer, and one of the Briarcliff players in his trying to block the shot kind of raked down across his face. He's going to be all right, but he's going to go out and take a breather.
Get a quick breather as checking into the game will be Jeremy D'Amico, 6'6" junior from Geneva, Illinois. Just under 10 minutes left to go. We're halfway through this first half. 15-12 the score. Cardinal Stritch in front. A long one would tie it here for the Chargers. Underneath the basket, Murin on the drive, goes all the way underneath, now gets the ball back. Shot is a little bit strong, no good. And it's Singh there for the rebound once again. Cardinal Stritch trying to run, pull up three, cans it. That is Simonez up to 7, and it is an 18-12 game after the three. And now Briarcliff needs a timeout to talk about it.
I tell you what, Simonez got the ball right about the C of O logo just past half court, took 2 dribbles, still 23 feet away, stopped and popped and drained the three-pointer. That could have been a 4-pointer as far as that's concerned. That was a long ways out.
Yeah. Cardinal Stritch shooting 8 of 14 from the field, 57.14%. Briarcliff 5 of 15, that's 33%. .931 left to play in the first half. Cardinal Stritch comes out of its huddle. Now the Chargers do the same thing. Briarcliff basketball trailing 18-12. Murin walks it across the timeline now, just a little bit of a jog. Gives it up to Collison. Now Collison does get it back in between the circles, goes left side, Murin. On the drive, Shipley lost it for a second, but Murin picked it up. A little bit of a weave type action, Otting. Ball winds up down into the corner to Rowe. Rowe, Collison. Back now, Otting. Underneath and a travel. Otting got into a little bit of trouble. Both those feet just kept moving, and it's a turnover.
A very active, sagging man-to-man that the Cardinal Stritch defense is couldn't get it into Collison, even though he's 6'10". The biggest player out there on the floor for the Wolves is only about 6'4", but because of their quickness and being active on the defensive end, couldn't get it inside, and kind of a little bit of a disadvantage outside, and a travel was called.
18-foot jump shot from Cardinal Stritch, no good for Simonez, and it will be Briar Cliff with the basketball. This is Brown with it, trapped out near midcourt, but he's able to get a bounce pass into the hands of Rowe. Rowe back outside, Brown swings it left side now, Sitzman, Collison. Collison works his way into the lane, turnaround jumper, a little bit strong, no good. Rebound pulled down by Cardinal Stritch. Ford runs the floor for the Wolves, stops outside, now gets the ball back in between the circles. Looks back at his bench, gets the play call they want to run. Tries to throw it right side, but the ball knocked out of bounds, last touched by Briar Cliff. 8:14 left to go first half, 22 seconds on the shot clock. 18-12 is the score. Cardinal Stritch in front of Briar Cliff.
I believe we must have some blood or something on the uniform of Shipley, as they're going to try to take care of it. You only get 20 seconds, I believe, to work on that to see if they can do it. Otherwise, you're either going to have to come out of the game or call a timeout to keep him in the game.
Yeah, it looks like it's actually his knee instead of his uniform, because they're not putting any of that spray on the uniform. Wrapped up his knee real quick. He made it in time, so he'll get to stay in the game. Inbound pass, D'Amico with it. D'Amico, Simpson, Ford, little weave. Ball finally found its way to Simonez. He misses the jumper, and the Chargers have the ball on the rebound. Sitzman started about coming left, goes back right, but then gives the ball to Brown. Brown is able to find Rowe. Rowe Collison, but the ball taken away and stolen, going the other end. Layup is no good, but that's because he was hammered from behind. D'Amico will have free throws coming up. Collison picks up the foul.
Collison having no choice either to go ahead and give up the easy layup at the other end or try to block it, which that's the route that he took, trying to block it, and was whistle for the foul. 2 shots for the Wolves.
And the first one is right down the middle. One free throw still to go. And that one is going to be strong, no good. 19-12 will remain the score. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it will be last touch by the Chargers. So Cardinal Stritch with the 19-12 lead keeps control of the basketball. Ford to trigger, lobs it into Singh. Singh just above the free throw line. In between his legs, works his way down. Little shot put up there. It isn't any good, and the rebound is pulled down by Rowe. Rowe runs the floor himself, stops, gives it to Shipley, and then back outside the ball goes to Brown. Brown trying to beat his man, does have a step, gives it up at the free throw line to Rowe. Rowe right side, Shipley on the run. Shot is no good. Collison battles for the rebound, and now he commits another foul. That's 2 quick ones.
2 quick ones going on the rebound. Michael Collison called for the push as Wolford, back in the ball game, had screened him off from the rebound, and kind of too tempting for Michael to keep from fouling, and fouling's what he did. Probably going to set the rest of the half. 7:15 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Wolford was in good position there to be able to pull down the rebound. He gets the ball inside, does Wolford. Kind of off balance, throws it up at the hole and almost got it to go. Instead, though, it is a rebound to the Chargers. Brown with it, left side, gives it up underneath to Lone, and then Lone loses his handle on it. Here comes Cardinal Stritch on the run. Singh's shot is blocked, and it is kept in play by the Chargers. All kinds of contact there, but they're saying it's inadvertent. We keep playing. Shipley on the drive, kind of a circus shot, gets it to go.
You talk about a circus shot, that's one of that you practice out there, and up and under, back and forth, and put the English on there, and Shipley gets it to go.
Wolfer has it, double team, kicks it back out, 3-point shot, in and out, no good. and the Chargers have the rebound. That did everything except go through the net. On the drive, trying to go all the way with Sitzman. Shot is no good. Chargers had it for just a moment, but instead it is Simpson coming out of there with it. Cross-court pass, now he gets it back. Acts like he's going to shoot the three, instead looks back at his bench, and they'll reset an offensive play here with 6:02 left to go in the first half. Bounce pass, Mazer with it, and his shot is blocked, and now here come the Chargers trying to run with it. Cross-court, Brown, three. Long, no good, and rebound pulled down by Sitzman, and then a whistle and a timeout on the floor. Cardinal Stritch wants a timeout. They lead it 19-14, 5:47 left to go first half.
Coach Drew Diner over there decides that he wants his players to get a little bit of extra rest, calls that timeout. Probably going to set up something a little bit different offensively and try to get some things going. Wolfer with only 1 point here with 5:47 to go, and he comes in averaging 11.3, so maybe they're going to try to work the ball a little bit more inside and use that wide body of Wolfer inside.
We'll see what they plan on doing when they come out. We'll see how they kind of they line up and what the point of emphasis for them might be. 5:47 left to go in the first half. 19-14 is the score. Let's take a look at the teams that have advanced already to the quarterfinals. They include Northwood. They defeated Marion today. Northwest over Northwestern, and those two will tangle at 5 o'clock tomorrow. The first game of the day will be McPherson over against Dort. McPherson was an 86-74 winner over St. Thomas, while it was Dort a 77-70 winner over Warner Pacific. Oregon Tech in the other game will take on St. Francis. Teams back on the floor now. 19-14 the score. 5:43 left to go. And as we mentioned earlier, Davenport awaits the winner of this game. Singh with it, gives it to Wolfer, about a 15-footer, short, no good. And the rebound is to Engler. Outlet pass, and it's Murin bringing it up the floor again for the Chargers. Outlet pass to Brown, left side, comes off of a screen and gives it back on the right side to Murin. Murin to Shipley. Shipley in between the circles, picks up his dribble. Ball tipped out of bounds, last touch by Cardinal Stritch.
And the timeout was designed to get the ball to Wolfer, about a 15-footer last time down the floor, but unsuccessful. And now then back on defense, Cardinal Stritch, as the Chargers still trail 19-14.
Murin with it. Pointing out directions to his team, gives it to Brown over on the left side. Brown goes back in between the circles, a straight on three. It is off to the side, no good. And the rebound comes out long to Ford. Ford left side to Singh. Singh picks up his dribble. Wolfer back outside, now Ford. Still 25 seconds left on the shot clock. The Stritch got in the front court so quick. Singh, Wolfer, right side Ford. Ford, couple of dribbles, bounce pass inside. Simonez shoots, draws the foul.
Foul's going to go against Brendan Brown, his first. Of course, it's going to be a two-shot foul, but that does put the Wolves in the bonuses. That's the seventh team foul. Shooting foul called, and 2 shots for the Wolves.
First one's good.
Simonez with another shot.
D'Amico back in. Wolfer will take a seat for Cardinal Stritch. Brown checks out of the lineup, and back in is Sitzman for Briar Cliff. Simonez's second free throw is good. 9 points in the first half. It's a 21-14 game. Cardinal Stritch by a touchdown. Lone, right side, Engler. Popping out now. Houston gets it back, calls out the play. 20 seconds left to shoot. Lone, right side, Engler. Engler being guarded one-on-one by Singh. Gives the ball up. Three-point shot is no good by Shipley. But an offensive rebound keeps it with the Chargers and a fresh shot clock. At the free throw line, Engler shot short, no good. And the air ball caught by Stritch. On the run now is Cardinal Stritch. Left side, thinking about a three with Simonez. He started to drive in, back outside, and Ford resets, calls out a brand new play, waiting on his teammates to get into position. Ball swings left side. Smith. Simonez with it on the drive, free throw line, hits it. That was a high arcer, and he was guarded face to face and gets the shot to go. Double figures now with 11.
Simonez, pretty good shooter out there and didn't need much room to get that one off for one, and then he ended up making the shot. So that was a pretty good looking shot.
Here's a three-point attempt, no good. Offensive rebound. Lone gets it, long cross-court pass. So open look at three, but it's passed up. And a offensive foul, and that was a matter of on the drive, Simonez kind of got stopped and then turned around and threw it back over his head, but he lost his position, lost looking where he was going, and goes over the defender.
The worst thing he did was leave his feet with nowhere to go. And by that, I mean he didn't know for sure if anybody was in front of him or behind him or beside him. You leave your feet like that and not know where you're going to land, lots of bad things can happen. That's one of them, a player control foul.
Cardinal Stritch leads at 23-14, coming up on 3 minutes left to play. Singh's shot is blocked, and then a foul on the rebound or on the carom, however you want to look at it. It will be D'Amico whistled for his second personal foul, and that will be team foul, still only number 4.
The Chargers still trail 23-14, and still 3 minutes to go in this ball game. 14 points, not very many points in the first half.
Engler dribbles out. He's guarded by Singh. Bounce pass gives it to Shipley. Shipley turns, goes to the basket. Shot just a little bit strong. Cardinal Stritch has the rebound on the run. This is Ford. Ford goes into the lane. Again, scoops out, stopped along the baseline, tries to throw it back out to Singh, but the ball is deflected and stolen. Running down, shot underneath, no good. And it will be Murin going to the line. He caught the ball and thought for a minute like he might pull it back out. He goes ahead and attacks, able to get enough contact to send him to the free throw line.
And Singh picks up his second foul for the Wolves of Cardinal Stritch. Going to the line will be Murin to shoot 2 shots.
Taylor Murin, the 6-foot junior guard from Colon, Nebraska. And the first free throw is good. He has his first points of the game. He scored 3 in the victory in the first round, but points really don't tell the story with this guy. He kind of sets up and runs the offense. Second free throw good as well.
So hits the free throws, does Murin, averaging 12.2 on the season, entering this tournament. So like you say, he does a lot of things for this team.
Blocked shot out of bounds. Is attacking was D'Amico, and he has his shot knocked out of bounds, but it will stay with Cardinal Stritch. Ball comes in, Simonez with it, cross-court pass into the hand of Simpson, and Simpson travels, tried that little quick stutter step before going to the basket, and we've really seen a lot more of that called this year against the ball handler.
2:17 to go, 23-16 in our score. The Wolves on top of the Chargers. Chargers with the ball, crossing mid-floor.
.207 left to go, cross-court pass. Again in the hands of Murin. Murin popped out in between the circles. The ball was to Sitzman. Sitzman, Lone wants a 3, no good. Battle for the rebound is won by Briar Cliff. The left-handed putback is good. We have a foul, though. Are they going to count? Okay, they will count the basket, and that was actually my question.
Well, no, I don't know if they are or not. I think the official was.
Basket is good, number 23, Ben Sitzman. Offensive foul, Briar Cliff, number 23.
So they do count the basket. Sitzman.
So they do count the basket, and then if it's a foul after the shot, then it's a 1-and-1.
And it should be.
I thought the official was telling the Charger bench to sit down over there, but evidently he was signaling that the basket counted. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give two points to the Chargers and then call a foul on Simonez. as Simonez now with 13 points, 1 foul, and will walk to the other line. And
Okay, Sitzman gets credit.
Sitzman gets credit. I'm sorry.
So he's got 5.
Yes. Right.
And
he
a
also
foul. Commits the foul. That's his second.
2. And then we'll walk to the other line, and Simpson
you got it now.
will shoot a 1-and-1.
And he hits the first one.
It's late.
No doubt. 24-18 after the first free throw. Mike Simpson to shoot one more. Talking about Murin scoring a while ago, he actually averages just over 12 points a year on the, or 12 points a game on the year. Second free throw was good as well. It's 25-18, a 7-point advantage for Cardinal Stritch. Minute 41 seconds left to play in the half. Murin into the lane, spins, forces up a left-handed shot, rolls off, no good, and Cardinal Stritch pulls down the rebound. Simonez brings it up himself across the timeline. He'll give it to Simpson to set up a play here with 1:27 left to go in the first half. Throws it over to the right side. Now at the free throw line, D'Amico with it underneath. Shot is blocked. Wolfer tried to force it up. He went right into 2 players. One of them got a hand on it. Knocks the ball out of bounds, but it does stay with Cardinal Stritch. Still 17 on the shot clock, 1:18 on the game clock. Simpson with it. Dribbles way out in between the circles. Now backs up on the big CO at midcourt. Goes it right side. Smith Wolfer. Long jumper from about 18.5 feet. It is no good. And the Chargers have the rebound with just under a minute left to go in the first half. Murin with it in between the circles. He went to Otting. Otting with one dribble. Now picks up his dribble and goes back to Murin. Murin, Otting outside in between the circles, left side. Shipley looking for some room. Baseline jumper. Just a little bit strong. No good. Battle for the rebound, and it is Cardinal Stritch coming away with it. Plenty of time on the clock to do what they want. Simpson goes in, has a shot blocked. It goes right to one of his teammates. This time the Chargers come away with it. They can hold for a final shot as we're down to 26 on the game clock. Instead, a little 18-foot jumper is going to go home for Zach Otting. And it is a 25-20 game. Cardinal Stritch 25, Briar Cliff 20, 7 seconds left to go in the first half. On the drive, this is D'Amico, back outside. Simonez wants 3, no good. Wolfer has the rebound, cannot get a shot off in the half. Well, the half comes to an end, but a little pushing match, a little extracurricular activity between the two squads. The officials come together and cooler heads will prevail, and the teams will head to the locker room. Well, wait, now the coach is actually going to talk to each other, it looks like. But they'll go off, start to head towards the locker room now, and that's actually what the other coach was talking about. Cardinal Stritch was following Briar Cliff and actually going the wrong direction into the locker room, so maybe that's what he actually had an issue with.
Right.
25-20 is our halftime score. And we're actually going to keep it here for a second because they're going to take a look at the replay. And this is something they're allowed to do now to make sure no elbows were thrown, no one threw a punch or anything, and nobody came off the bench to get involved over. Even though it was halftime and the time had expired, you are not allowed to leave. We look at the play. We see them going, and they are being separated pretty quickly. Nobody from the bench looks like they came out, and I do believe there is nothing to it. Officials say, nope, we're good, and they will go ahead and move to halftime. 25-20 is our halftime score. Here's a look at the scoring real quick as I have it unofficially in the first half. Sitzman and Collison each with 5 points for Briar Cliff, 4 points for Shipley, and it looks like 2 points apiece for Murin, Engler, and Oddie. And for Cardinal Stritch, 11 points for Simonez, 6 for Singh, 4 for Simpson, and then 2 points for Smith, 1 point apiece for D'Amico and Wolfer. and that lead adds up to 20. 25-20, our halftime score. We'll take about a 8.5-minute timeout or so, and we'll be back with the second half of Cardinal Stritch and Briar Cliff. One of these teams will advance to the national quarterfinals.
Coca-Cola and Highland Dairy. The game is simple. I will leave an object, and if you were the first person to reach Coach Waller at center court with that object, you will win the prize. First up, we have a couple of Highland Dairy ice cream. We are looking for a ticket stub from any Branson show.
This is ugly.
Ticket stub from any Branson show.
Uglier than I am. I mean, and that's ugly. Okay, 10. 21, 22, 23, 24,
And a
25.
popcorn and a Coke.
Okay, 2, 4,
It only costs you
8.
43 cents. We need 43 cents
gotcha.
exactly for popcorn and a Coke.
He's good. He probably has a whole handful of change and add up to 43. Here comes the here. Oh, that's
A rib crib sandwich. That's what's next. We need a rib crib plastic cup. Cup from the rib crib food vendor.
There we go. Woo-hoo. That's a hungry girl right there.
Go-kart park. We need an airline ticket. And an airline ticket.
Anywhere.
That's the thing of the past anymore. Most of them paperless.
Good thing you have that. Next one's gonna ask for a speeding ticket.
Yes,
The
that was
Coca-Cola
something
big bag. We need a $2 bill. A $2 bill. That's a fair trade. Another cup of Highland Dairy ice cream. We're looking for an updated tournament bracket. An updated tournament bracket. You didn't have this yet? Take away food.
Take a
Next
look,
we have
look at real quick.
popcorn and Coke.
Yeah,
We need
really.
ticket stub from yesterday's game. Ticket stub from yesterday's game.
Hey, does this confuse you?
Yeah, there you go. That'll work. That's punched. Al couldn't see if that's the right date or not.
Rib crib sandwich on the line. We need a Cardinal Stritch or a Briar Cliff ID number ending in number 3. Cardinal Stritch or Briar Cliff ID ending in 3.
Three students here? What about any ID ending in
Ending in 7. Briar Cliff and Cardinal Stritch ending in 7. Ending in 8.
I just opened a whole roll of them.
Yeah, really.
What? Yeah, the new ones are like that.
You've got a state quarter with a state starting with the letter M. State quarter with a state starting with the letter M.
Oh, here comes one. Jump over, dude. Just chuck it. One half, and one thing left, and then it's all downhill.
Yeah, but that was downhill within a half there.
Yeah, they came over to check no punches or what, and that nobody left the bench. They didn't. The guys took one step and then they stopped. They never made it to the. They never even made it to the 3-point arc. That's what we were looking for down here. Then the coaches went for it. Yeah.
See that?
Well, and part of it is part of it is bringing on Cardinal Stritch started following them. They were just to go that way. They went in and followed right cliff back. And especially when there's already tension, you need to go your own way.
Well, no. What they do is that's the way they were supposed to go. What happens is that they go the same way, but this is the second time this has happened during the tournament where they rerouted a team because they took them the long way just to avoid them.
Yeah.
So they just started going the right way. So that wasn't.
They brought them back. They were already down there.
I know. Well, they waited too long to do it.
Yeah. That is. Yeah. Last thing we need are fights in the hall. You know, our women have a legitimate shot in Final Four. I mean, you gotta think they gotta play better, but you can't ask much more to get to play a number freaking 6 seed. Now I know they play better than that because they've already upset 2 people, but still.
Yeah. Well, just all you have to think, anytime you think about that, just think St. Francis here is unseated. And that's all you need to know. That number really doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot. Either way.
Okay. Let's start the final half of day number 3. And we will start it in 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Point Lookout for the second half of the final game of day number 3, the second round of the NAIA Men's Division II National Basketball Tournament. I'm Perry Phillips, Dave Beckham alongside, and 25-20 our score. Cardinal Stritch in front of Briar Cliff. And Dave, I see you're looking at the stats there. What sticks out to you in the first half?
Well, really only one thing jumps out. Everything else is pretty well even, and that is Briar Cliff's inability to hit a 3-point field goal. They're 1 for 12 in the first half. Coming into this tournament, they averaged 33%, so 1 out of 3, but they're 1 for 12 are the Chargers. Of course, on the other hand, Cardinal Stritch has only shot 4, and they've only made 1, but 1 for 12 is just unacceptable if you're a Charger out there, because you got to be able to hit more consistently than that. 1 for 12 from 3-point land to be able to win this ball game.
Well, it's going to be Cardinal Stritch to start with the ball. In between the circles here, Schmidt, and a foul as setting a screen and just completely getting rolled over is Singh.
And I would say that they'll probably go to the monitor here because.
Well, they're asking already. The fans behind us want them to. And we've got 2 of the 3 officials are discussing it right now. Kind of what happened there, and I don't know if if he had set a screen and then it wasn't called out and he got a pick and ran right through it, and Singh doesn't look like he's leaving the floor. This is a tough guy going to stay there and play after that. And the foul is called, and they are whistling the foul against the offensive player. And now, if what we thought happened was running through a screen, then that might be the right call. Now, wait a minute. They're pulling everybody off the line here.
It's going to be a flagrant foul is what it's going to be. So it'll be 2 shots and the ball, or a technical foul, however you want to look at it. They're going to go look at it. No, they're not going to. They say, well, I don't have to. I saw what I saw out there as officials.
Well, there's no flagrant. It must be called calling an intentional foul. So, at the free throw line. And the shot is going to be short, no good.
And remember, as the teams went off at halftime, there was a little bit of extracurricular activity over there as far as some saying this and saying that and accusing this and accusing that. Now then we're 9 seconds into the second half, and we've got a situation where it's a technical foul on Collison as he picks up his 3rd foul.
And Singh checked out of the lineup, so they were allowed to let anybody shoot the free throws they wanted. They let Mazur do it. No. Now Singh's trying to get back into the game. He can't do that because they took him out and let somebody else shoot the free throws.
And they're not going to let him in.
He's got to wait some time to come off the clock, and that's what they're telling him. So he will come in at the next dead ball, though. But interesting, they would put somebody else on the line, but he was ready to come right on back in. Wolfer with it. Gives it up to Simonez. Simonez inside again to Wolfer. He's double teamed down low. There's got to be someone open. It's Mazur way back up top. Right side of the floor. Ford came out and got it. Now they'll reset it with Schmidt way out near mid-court. Still 10 seconds to shoot on the clock. Into the lane, Schmidt throws it up with the right hand. No good, and the rebound is controlled by Sitzman. On the run, three-pointer, good. Count that for Murin. His first field goal of the game finally gets one to go down. He's got 5 altogether. It's 26-23, back to a 3-point game.
And now then the Chargers are feeling like they've got something to prove because kind of made them mad, so to speak, but we'll see if they can sustain that that aggressiveness as we've got a near steal at the free throw line.
And
but
now
sometimes that can change the complexion of a game. A technical foul by the coach, and everybody gets behind them supporting them. And in this case, it was a technical foul against Michael Collison. We'll see if the Chargers use that as a springboard for the rest of the game.
Well, it looked like the Chargers were going to head the other way, but they were able to tie the ball up to Cardinal Stritch. But what that does is it reverses the arrow, and it gives them the arrow back. So with 18:43 left to go, it is a 26-23 game, and Cardinal Stritch comes out with a steal. On the run, Simonez with it. Gives it up now, gets it back, drives baseline himself, forces it up. Shot is blocked, no good. And the Chargers come away with it, 4-on-2 break. Bounce pass right side. Shipley with it. Here is a shot, and the ball's going to get stuck. You heard the whistle in the background and a foul.
The whistle came before the ball got stuck, so it won't be a jump ball situation. It'll be a 2-shot foul on the shot, as I believe who they give it to is going to go against Nick Ford of Cardinal Stritch, only his first foul. So stepping to the line will be Shipley to shoot 2 shots.
First one is going to be strong, no good. Shipley, 6'8" junior from State Center, Iowa.
And an 83% free throw shooter, and misses the first of 2, and he's team trailing by 3.
Takes another look at it, hits this one. He's got 5. It's 26-24. Under 18.5 left to play in the game. Ford, right side, gave it to Schmidt. Now it's Singh with it, gives it to Wolfer down low. Turns around, passes it back outside. 18-foot jump shot is blocked, and it's the Chargers coming away with it. One-on-one move into the lane. Tried a turnaround, and then the ball was lost. And
was on the floor.
It's going to be Charger ball here, because what happened is on the sideline was Nick Ford. He was actually laying out of bounds while he reached back and touched the ball.
So it's going to be ball out sideline, Charger ball at the Charger end on the side.
18:02 left to play in the game. Murin with it. Throws it left side of the floor to the hands of Shipley. Popping out in between the circles now is Sitzman. Gives it back to Murin. Way over on the left side, Lone. All the way, work around the perimeter. Murin with it, another three-pointer. Little bit strong, no good. Rebound is tipped, and we're going the other way, as this will be a foul on Tim Lone. And an out-of-bounds play coming up.
As they're not.
Well,
they
wait,
give
we're
it
doing
to?
this again. They pointed the other way.
Oh, it's going to go against
It is.
Wolfer.
The
It's going
official
to go
pointed
against
like we were
Wolfer.
going to, and he just had his directions mixed up. So the foul goes against Wolfer, his second personal foul, and the ball will stay here with the Chargers for a second. A 5-second call, and the ball goes down. It will belong to Cardinal Stritch. And sorry about the confusion there, but we just went the way the official pointed.
But Wolfer now with 2 fouls for the Wolves, still in the ball game. And 26-24 is the score. The Cardinal Stritch on top, Briarcliff.
Bounce pass inside Schmidt, back outside. Wolfer from 17 feet. It's no good. Ball tipped, goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Chargers. It'll stay with Cardinal Stritch. Down to 17-20 left to play. Score still 26-24. Singh trying to back his man down. Spins into the lane, throws it up with the right hand. No good. Wolfer on the rebound. His putback no good, but draws a foul. And that's just nice position by the big man inside to get the rebound and just forcing it back up.
And this time, Tim Lone of the Chargers will be whistled for his second foul. Stepping to the line will be Derek Wolfer. Wolfer with only 1 point here thus far, 2 shots.
First one looks good. It's a 3-point lead, trying to increase it to 4. Spins it in his left hand, lets it fly with the right. Good. 3 points. It's 28-24. 17-11 left to go in the ball game. And we have an official timeout.
I'm not sure what we've got now.
And I think we're asking the trainer.
Oh, there's one way
come
down there.
down
Yes, so one of the Wolves way down there. I don't know if he's got a foot problem or a cramp, but he's sitting in the bleachers
it might be a
down
cramp.
there.
He's sitting over in the volunteer section, and it'll be just a second. That might be Schmidt down there. Having trouble picking up the number. I believe it is. I believe it's Tom Schmidt for Cardinal Stritch.
Another delay here. That's going to get us out late again, one way or the other, because we've had 2 or 3 delays here in the last 10 minutes of the ball game. 28-24, Cardinal Stritch on top, Briarcliff.
We've had some players cramping up in this tournament, and we had one game, and it was a late game just like this, where it just kept happening over and over and over again. And indeed, they're giving him a hand now. It is Tom Schmidt, and he is walking behind the bleachers, probably going to go into the training room. Indeed, he goes right in between the bleachers and back to the training room, and they'll work on him. Charger basketball, right side of the floor. Shipley with it. Shipley back in between the circles to Rowe. Popping out now is Murin. Murin directs traffic, gives it up. Lone thought about a 3 instead, goes into the free throw line. Throws it over into the corner. Does Shipley, and way too much on it. He was trying to find Brown, but instead it goes into the crowd, and it'll be Cardinal Stritch ball.
And an unforced error again by the Chargers. Just about whenever you think they're going to be able to get it real close or have a chance to make something positive happen, they this time turn it over uncontested.
Simpson into the front court, throws it into the hands of Simmons. Simmons finds Ford. Ford left side back to Simpson, excuse me. Hold it high, lobs it into Singh. Singh looking for a little bit of room. Turnaround jumper, a little bit strong, no good. Rebound is pulled down briefly by Simpson, but then it is stolen away by the Chargers. Brown runs the middle of the floor, gave it up briefly to Sitzman. Now down into the corner, drive by Shipley, shoot, scores.
Shipley took it to the basket with some authority that time and did a 360 right at the basket. Was able to get an uncontested shot up and in.
Briarcliff back to within 2. It's 28-26. Simpson up the floor, in between the circles now. Ford, ball over to Simenes, back to Ford, and the ball trying to bounce it into Wolfer, and it's kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Cardinal Stritch. Still 20 seconds on the shot clock. No reset because we're above 15.
And still don't see Schmitz out of the training room yet. So I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but hopefully he'll be able to come back and play here in this second half.
Simenes, Simpson dribbles the ball in, now back out, looking to come off of a pick into the lane, pulls up from the free throw line, a little bit strong, no good. Rebound tipped and controlled by the Chargers. Rowe with it, runs right down the middle of the floor, now gives it over to the left to Brown. Brown lost the handle but gets it back. This is Shipley with it, a little bit of contact. Now he's going to lean in, contact shot, no good, but a foul.
And the foul is going to go against Simenes. It's going to be his second.
Is it Simenes or D'Amico? You're right, you got it.
I've got 2 on him, but the board's only got the 1, so we'll go with the board, of course. They're a lot more official than what we are.
That's right.
Shipley with 2 shots for the Chargers.
And the first one's good. He could tie it if he hits one here.
Which has been a long time coming, in fact, since it was 0-0 from what I remember. You might have it there, but he misses.
It doesn't matter because he misses it. We were tied at 2.
Okay.
And Cardinal Stritch, though, now with a 1-point lead and the basketball. Ford on the drive. Double team along the baseline, picks up his dribble, back outside Simpson. Simpson starts to drive, now kicks it back to Mazer. Mazer, D'Amico, drive, loses the ball, but it was last touched by the Chargers. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, ball stays with Stritch.
And Lone doing a good job of going over there and helping out and knocking the ball away, out of bounds, in fact, a blocked shot.
Lob into Singh. Singh forces up one off the backboard, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Shipley for Briarcliff. Got the ball ahead, now underneath, Rowe, and Rowe is going to travel.
Got a little bit too anxious there that time as Rowe got the ball inside and was going to try to pivot back and make a pass out to the top of the key, but kind of pitter-pattered in there and whistle for the turnover.
Simenes back in the game after a quick break as Simpson will sit back down. Ford, long cross-court pass on the drive now. This is Simenes with it, picks up his dribble. Ford in between the circles, gives it up to Singh. Singh looking for something to happen, ends up giving it back to Ford. Ford in the lane. This is Singh out by the three-point arc. Way back in between the circles, Simenes with it. Down to 10 seconds to shoot, tries a runner, and it's good.
Simenes kind of creates on his own, too. Transfer from Wisconsin Green Bay, and you can see that he has the potential to play at the Division I level.
30-27, three-point shot, good. And that's 2 3-pointers in a row for Murin. He's up to 8, and it is a 30-30 game. We are now tied.
Now tied, and haven't been tied since 2. Not for long.
Baseline jumper, good for Mazer. Mazer with 3, and it's 32-30. And then a whistle quickly at the other end, blocking foul, and free throws coming up here for Cardinal Stritch. Excuse me, coming up for the Chargers.
Cardinal Stritch, Chad Mazer called for the foul on the block as trying to draw the charge was Mazer, but going to be a 2-shot foul, or are they going to call it on the floor? Must be going to be ball out.
They're going to call it on the floor before the shot then. So this will be an inbound play coming up, but they get the ball underneath the basket. Shot is blocked. This time there will be free throws, as it will be going to the line will be John Engler, the 6'6" junior from Fort Dodge, Iowa.
And that is 3 on Singh of the Wolves. That could be a big foul because Singh, one of the offensive threats, along with Simenes. 2 shots coming up. Missed the first one, did Engler. So Singh goes out.
Singh goes out. And Engler with another free throw coming up.
And Collison comes back in, and Tim Lone takes a seat over there on the bench. Collison with those 3 fouls.
And Lone with some good minutes there. Second free throw. This one is long, no good as well. Cardinal Stritch pulls down the rebound. So Stritch up by 2 with the basketball. 13:30 left to play in the game. Dribbling with the left hand is Simpson. Simpson calls out the orders. Bounce pass to the top of the key to D'Amico. Now back outside Simpson. Throws it right side. This is Simonez with it. Simonez trying to look for a pick. Instead goes right side and gives it to Mazer. Mazer wants it from the baseline. No good. Rebound to Wolfer. Puts it back up, but he traveled first. He doesn't agree, but it doesn't matter. We go to the other end.
Wolfer, the reason that he travels, he's trying to create space a little bit and kind of give it a bump, but he didn't put the ball on the floor, allowing himself to take that extra bunny hop, so to speak, and correctly whistle for the turnover.
Murin with it, throws it left side of the floor. Sitzman with it. Cross-court pass, ball ended up in the hands of Engler, and a whistle and a pushing foul. No shot. It will be on the floor. And another out-of-bounds play to come up. Foul is whistled on 24, Jeremy D'Amico. That is his 3rd personal foul. Chargers with the ball. Sitzman with it. Way up top in between the circles. Looks left, now looks right, and gave it up to Otting. Otting to Engler. Back to Otting on the drive. Back outside Engler. They were looking for a pass out to Musin. It was tipped. He got it, but it lost the appeal. Now he has that open 3. He wanted and hits it. That's what they wanted to do all along. He had to end up having to create to get it. But now 3 3-pointers, and Murin up to 11 points. And 33-32 to score. Briarcliff has taken the lead.
And taking the lead. That's the key right there. That's the key for Briarcliff. They finally got the lead. And on that 3 by Taylor Murin to give him 11 points for the Chargers. Finally battled. The Chargers have battled and battled and battled, and it seemed like every time they were in the position to maybe get it close or tied or maybe even take the lead, they'd have a turnover and let the Wolves break it back out to 5 or 6 or 7. But finally, the Chargers got to feel good about themselves getting the lead, but it's just 1 point lead, so we'll see what happens.
Well, this is not good news for Cardinal Stritch as we see coming. We were thinking maybe it was a cramp. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case. As coming back out of the locker room is Tom Schmidt.
And
that's the good news. Bad news is he's on crutches.
Looks like he's got an ice pack on. It's not his ankle. Looks like the top of his foot, which makes me think that maybe a stress situation or something, and one of those little bones that goes down to your toes. But I'd say he's done for the night over there.
You would think when he comes out on crutches, but what this does show is how much he wants to be a part of and be out here with his team. He's going to leave the training room and come out here on crutches for the last 12 minutes.
Yeah, and that's going to take a big reserve out of the pocket of Coach Drew Diner, and going to have to change strategy just a little bit.
So Cardinal Stritch with the basketball. Wolfer bounce pass to Simonez. Gets it over right side Simpson. Simpson goes to the free throw line, and the ball ended up in the hands of D'Amico. Back outside Simpson. Simpson dribbles with the left hand, 12 to shoot. Underneath, pump fake, shoots. And he misses it, and a foul. And this is going to be interesting if they do it after the shot, because the shot was already missed. And now they're saying a little sweep of the foot, and it cost Simpson. Simpson was the recipient of the foul, as from behind, Sitzman pushes him. And when the official was trying to explain what happened, he did it kind of like a kicking motion.
Yeah, like he was trying to trip him or get a foot out there in front of him or something.
Off the inbound pass, 19-foot jump shot is good for Mazer. Mazer up to 5, and the lead goes back the other way. It's 34-33, 11:52 left to go in the ball game. Chargers with it back in the front court. Swings all the way from right to left in the hand of Sitzman on the drive. The reverse layup no good from Engler. Ball tipped, and now it is controlled by Cardinal Stritch as Simpson puts up 3 fingers or whatever to call out the play. Into the front court, dribbles with the right hand, now the left, makes his move into the lane, shoots, shot is blocked, but the ball comes to Wolfer. Wolfer working, his shot is blocked, he gets it back. This time he's going to draw the foul.
And that's going to be foul number 4 on Collison. You got to credit Wolfer. He stayed after it, stayed after it, and stayed after it, and finally was able to draw the foul, which probably is more important than the field goal.
Michael Collison, as you said, picks up foul number 4.
I thought Michael Collison was going to be a big part of the Charger attack, but fouls and foul situations have reneged the ability of the Chargers to use Michael Collison inside, so he goes to the bench with 5 points.
Missed free throw, though, by Wolfer. One more free throw still to come. And this one is going to be good.
Wolfer with only 4 points, but the more important as far as the Chargers are concerned is Michael Collison on the bench with 4 fouls, so going to be very limited whenever he comes back in.
35-33, it's a 2-point Cardinal Stritch lead. Chargers with the basketball. They want a 3-pointer. It's an air ball, but it works out to be just like a pass. Lone catches it underneath and hits the uncontested layup.
Lone paying attention out there what was going on. Wolfer had his back turned to the shooter, which was Shipley, and Lone just stepped in front of him and took the pass, or the shot that turned into a pass, and made the shot.
35, now another air ball. The Chargers have this one on the run. Pull up, 3-pointer, in and out, and no good. Rebound tip way up, or actually knocked down to the floor and then bounces up high, and it was last touched by Cardinal Stritch. It'll stay with the Chargers.
Now then Singh's going to have to come back in for the Wolves. They're having a tough time scoring. Singh with those 3 fouls, but he has had some rest over there, and I'm sure that he got some instructions from Coach Drew Diner. You got to play smart out there. You can't come away with a foul.
35-35 the score. Briar Cliff with the basketball. Dribbles over to the left. This is Brown with it. Brown gave it up to Murin. Now into the hands of Shipley. Underneath, wide open shot is good. And Tim Logan, 2 field goals in a row for Briar Cliff. It's 37-35. Chargers now in front.
And Tim Lone coming up big that time, moving without the basketball and receiving another nice pass inside and alertly putting it in.
Simpson handing the ball off to Simonez. Now Simpson has it back. Nice pass to Singh underneath for the score. Give Singh the score. He's got 8. Give Simpson the assist, and we've got a tie game at 37, and we have a timeout on the floor. Timeout on the floor, 37-37, Briar Cliff and Cardinal Stritch. 10:04 left to go. One of these teams will advance to the quarterfinals. The other season comes to an end.
On that particular play, Mike Simpson at the top of the key just absolutely just outquicked everyone. Had a clear path to the basket, and a Charger come over to try to help out, and just as he come across the lane to help out, Simpson dumped it off to Singh, and Singh right there with an easy basket for the Wolves.
37-37. As the teams start to come out of their huddles from the timeout. 10:04 left to go. One team will advance to tomorrow's quarterfinals. And it's Charger basketball. They'll get the first crack to take the lead to break this tie. As Murin walks it across the timeline. Throws it over right side of the corner. This is Rowe. Back out in between the circles, Lone. Now in the hands of Brown. Lone out above the 3-point arc. Gives it up into the hands of Rowe. Rowe looking to get rid of it. He's going to have to find some help. Finally he does. Cross-court pass to Brown. Brown goes in between his legs, dribbles with the left hand. Free throw line jump shot. Fadeaway is good. He was actually pretty well guarded, but was able to create and get a shot.
First point of the night for Brendan Brown. The other night he hit some big baskets for the Chargers. Tonight, that's only about the second shot that he's taken.
39-37. Simonez with it. Ball ends up cross-court, a couple of passes before Mazer picks it up. And then he is knocked down to the floor. And the foul going to be whistled against Taylor Murin here. And it's going to be only his.
I believe it's going to go against Tim Lone, which will be his
it
third.
Is, and that's going to be his third, so that's a lot bigger call that way.
A lot bigger call on a lot bigger young man. But, yeah, Lone wasn't set out there and tried to come out and impede the progress of the Wolves and called for the block.
Cardinal Stritch gets the ball inbounds and Simpson goes over and gets it to set up this offensive possession. 9:10 left to go in the game.
Chargers on top by 2, 39-37.
Singh with it. He's triple teamed, gets rid of the basketball. Now there's a scramble for it on the ground. Simpson comes away with it. back outside to reset, and the shot clock down to 15. Simpson into the lane, stops, back outside, and comes back and gets it to Simpson. He drives to the basket, lays it up with the right hand. It's no good, and the rebound is kicked out. On the run are the Chargers. Pull up just inside the free throw line is good for Jake Shipley. Double figures now with 10, and it is 41-37, 4-point Briar Cliff lead.
Jake Shipley just went one-on-one there and was able to overcome the defense of the Wolves, and shows why he's able to score 18 points a game, because he created, and talk about creation, Simonez coming up with a big shot at the other end.
It's 41-39. But the Chargers run into the front court themselves. Ball held in between the circles now. This is Sitzman with it. Ball work left, now back right into the middle. Goes down into the corner to Rowe. Back up top, Brown. Brown left side. Gets the ball back. Three-point shot is short, no good. Rebound is tipped and saved, but right back into the hands of Cardinal Stritch, and then Brown whistled for a pushing foul as he got a little bit too physical with Simpson.
Brendan Brown was trying to jump in the passing lane, and his momentum carried him right into Simpson. His whistle for the foul, only his second, as Simpson's going to get a much-deserved rest over there on the bench of the Wolves.
So Simpson out of the lineup, and the starting guard is Nick Ford. He's back in the game now, dribbling with the right hand. 7:45 left to go in the second half. He threw it right side into the hands of Simonez. Back outside Ford. Bounce pass underneath Wolfer. Back outside Ford to reset. 18 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking over the Briar Cliff defense. Gave the ball up to Mazer, then gets it back. Ford on the drive underneath the basket, and he stepped on the baseline as he was trying to come back out and try to create. Turnover, and the ball goes back to the Chargers. Briar Cliff, 41-39 leaders, and now they have the basketball, and Brown will walk it up.
Had a 4-point lead at one time, did the Chargers, but wasn't able to extend it. Now then it's down to 2, but they do have the basketball.
Left side, running the weave. This is Sitzman with it. In between circles, Shipley. Went over Brown. Give and go. Brown gets it back. Shoots, scores.
Good deception that time by Brendan Brown, as it looked like he was going to go one way and then cut back to the basket other way, and Tim Lone dropped it off to him for an easy basket.
Brenton Brown, 4 points on the game now. He's been an influential part of the game. 6:49 left to go. 43-39. 4-point advantage for Briar Cliff. Cardinal Stritch with the basketball. This is Ford, right side Singh. They go to Wolfer inside. He's double teamed. Back outside Ford. Stops at the free throw line. Right side Wolfer. Bounce pass underneath. Simonez shot is no good. Battle is tipped around, and finally it comes out Shipley. Shipley runs the floor himself, comes in between the circles. It slows down, hands the ball to Brown. 4-point lead Briar Cliff, and they have the basketball. Left side, Shipley. Back outside, Lone. Shots too strong, no good. Rebound pulled down by Cardinal Stritch. Simonez skied high for it, and then he gave the ball off to Ford.
But the Chargers got a pretty good look at the basket and a pretty good shot, just didn't go down.
Ford tries to lob it in, and it's stolen by Lone. Outlet pass given to Sitzman, and Sitzman brings the ball up the floor and sets things up for the Chargers. Lone with it, about 17 feet away from the basket. Back outside Shipley in between the circles. Spin move into the lane, no good. Rebound to Wolfer for Cardinal Stritch. Outlet pass Nick Ford, and we have a timeout on the floor. Cardinal Stritch wants to talk about it. 5:39 left to go in the ball game. It is Briar Cliff 43, Cardinal Stritch 39.
And Coach Drew Diner over there on the Stritch bench, felt like his young men needed a little bit of a rest over there, a respite, and also feeling like this is a very important possession, want to go ahead and come away with a shot here at the other end and maybe come up with at least being able to cut into that. It's only a 4-point deficit, but the way the points have been scored, it's such a struggle to score that 4 points seems enormous almost. Chargers, on the other hand, they've had some pretty good looks at it. They've been able to run their offense and get the shots that they've wanted. It's just that they haven't been able to hit the key shots to extend this lead. Defensively, they're going to have to probably watch the back door, or maybe the trying to get it into the big man, who will drop it off to one of the other cutters going across the lane. Probably going to draw the big man out of the lane and then let a couple of cutters go through.
43-39 is the score. Briar Cliff in front. 5:39 left to go ball game.
And Collison back in the game with those 4 fouls. You got to play aggressive, but by the same token, you got to play smart. You can't just give up one more foul to take yourself completely out of the ball game.
And if you're Briar Cliff, and if you're Cardinal Stritch, you may take the ball right at him right now. Let's find out if that's indeed what they do. Pump fake like he's going to take a three-pointer. Now a three-point shot is taken by Mazer. No good, and then there is a whistle as a collision out away from the basket.
And that's Michael Collison's 5th foul. You know, he was looking for the ball, trying to get a hand on it to tip it to somebody. And he's coming right out of the game, went right in and then comes right out. You know, like I say, you gotta be a little bit more careful. You can play careful and still play aggressively, but you know, you got to play careful with those 4 fouls.
And of all people to commit it on, he puts it on the 5'6" Mike Simpson. Simpson's shot is on the free throw. It's no good, but Singh there for the rebound. His putback shot no good. Now he draws a foul as John Engler gets his wrist on the shot up.
And Engler wasn't for sure where he was at on the floor. He or the one that he was trying to play defense on, Singh. And Singh very alertly just took advantage of that and turned and put a shot up and drew the foul.
And Singh's first free throw is good. Singh up to 9. It's 43-40. See if he can make it a 2-point game here, which would basically cut the lead in half since it was a 4-point deficit. And he is not going to do it. Front of the rim, back of the rim, and out. So it remains a 3-point game with 5:20 left to go. Here in the ball game, being hounded all the way up the floor is Murin by Simpson. Now they have the ball in the half-court set, and it is Lone hanging on to it. Coming over and getting it was Otting. Otting dribbles with the right hand, looking over the Cardinal Stritch defense. Looking for someone to come and help. Ends up throwing it over to the right side to Engler. Engler one dribble with the left hand, picks it up, over into the corner. Otting again. Now the ball goes down low. Shot is going to be good. A follow-away jumper from Shipley. He is up to 12, and it is 45-40.
The Chargers finally got Shipley on a one-on-one situation, kind of isolate him on the side, and he was able to score.
Shipley, the leading scorer on the season for Briar Cliff. Really helps his team there. 45-40 is the score with 4.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Wolfer from the baseline. He's got 6. It's his first field goal in a while. As a matter of fact, it's his first field goal of the game as he had 4 free throws heading into that one. It's 45-42, back to a 3-point game. On the drive, Otting into the lane, shoots, scores. Zach Otting with 4 now. It's 47-42, a 5-point game with 4 minutes left to play as the pace is really starting to pick up.
The Wolves probably a little bit surprised there that Otting actually took it in there and shot the ball as Simonez puts a shot up, and it looks like Lone's going to come away with it. And the Chargers have the ball and a 5-point lead.
Into the front court, and then they call a timeout. Timeout for the Chargers, 47-42. Chargers lead it, 3:44 left to go here in the second half.
I tell you what, Zach Otting showed a lot of grit right there, because it looked like he was looking for someone to pass to, but once he got past his defender and saw that there was an opening all the way to the basket, he took advantage and was able to hit a big basket for the Chargers. Look for the Chargers now with possession of the ball and a 5-point lead, probably going to run some clock, but you got to make sure that you come and get the ball and execute your offense and not come away with a block as far as the screener is concerned on the offensive end.
3:44 left to go. Excuse me, 3:44 left to go in the second half. 47-42, Briar Cliff in front. Briar Cliff trying to pull off another upset, unseeded, and right now in front of number 6, Cardinal Stritch by 5. There's the first whistle. And the teams will be asked to come out of their huddles now. Very important few minutes of the game coming up. Cardinal Stritch players walk back onto the court. Now here come the Chargers as well. Ball will be inbounded over on the side by Briar Cliff.
And Cardinal Stritch, yes, they got 6 fouls, so the next foul will be a 1-and-1 situation. So take care of the basketball if you're a Charger, but if you're a Wolf, you got to look to come away with the steal. And as I say that, the Chargers took a shot with about 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
And they missed the three-point shot. Instead, now the ball will go over to Cardinal Stritch. Simpson with it. Cardinal Stritch will work on it. Just look for a good shot here. Still plenty of time. Drive, throws it over. Simpson has an open look at three. He's got it, and a foul! Simpson hits the three-point shot and a chance to make it a 4-point play.
Simpson hits a big shot and a silly foul by the Chargers as Tim Lone, with 3 fouls, goes out there and tries to contest it. But it's one thing to contest it, but to foul a three-point shooter on a shot that's made, going to be a possible 4-point play here, plus the 4th foul against Tim Lone.
And Simpson misses the free throw, though, and it stays a 2-point game. 3:11 left to play, 47-45. Briarcliff into the front court, throws it over to the right side. This is Sitzman with it, Sitzman to Lone. Lone holds it high above his head, one bounce and hands it to Murin. Murin trying to take his man one-on-one, goes at the host, shoots, no good, we're going the other way. Charging foul on Murin, and that is probably the right call. He got by his man, but what he didn't realize is help had slid down and was waiting just outside the circle on him.
And that's one of those situations you've got to be aware of all the defenders if you're going to take it to the basket like that. I thought it was an excellent play defensively by the Wolves.
I'll tell you right now, Charger fans don't like the call, but at least from the angle we are sitting at, it looked like the right call.
Yes.
Singh with the basketball, goes on the baseline, he's cut off, back outside, three-pointer by Simonez is good. Simonez cans the three, he's got 18. All of a sudden, it's a 48-47 game. Cardinal Stritch has taken the lead. Chargers have to regroup right now and play the same game that got them the lead to begin with. Cross-court pass. Lone thought about shooting, now goes into the lane, drives at it, and is fouled. And that's really not a bad foul if you're Cardinal Stritch, because it either foul him or he's going to dunk it on you.
Exactly. So you go ahead and make him shoot it, earn it from the line, as he's a 62% free throw shooter. But give Lone credit. He took the ball to the basket pretty hard there, and Simonez having to come over and foul him to put him on the line.
And Simonez is a smart thing. Make sure he got the ball where he wasn't going to be able to shoot it like that. But I'm not sure that's exactly how it was drawn up. Lone caught the ball, and maybe he was going to run the offense. Then he looked and saw the lane just completely wide open and just went to the basket. Free throw is good.
Big free throw there. Big free throw.
Lone up to 5, and we are tied at 48 with 2:15 left to go. And the big man still has one free throw still to go. The senior center from Lone Tree, Iowa, misses the second. Now we are tied. 2:09 left to play, and it's Simpson walking the ball in the front court for Cardinal Stritch. Bounce pass to Wolfer. Coming over to get it is Simonez. Simonez back to Wolfer. Simonez again. Waiting on the pass out near midcourt is Simpson. Now he got the ball back in between his legs. Goes to the free throw line. Jukes has an open shot, misses it short, no good. And Lone pulls down the rebound for the Chargers. 1:40 left to play as they go across the timeline.
And not a bad play in there. Simpson was the quickest man on the floor and trying to create as we got a charge again.
Yeah, it's a charge on Shipley as Shipley tried to go to the hole, and planning and picking up the charge that time was Simonez. So first personal foul against Shipley, and it will be Cardinal Stritch ball with 1:35 left to go in the second half.
And still tied, and like I say, last time they went with Simpson using his quickness. We'll see if they try to go back door this time. Now we got a timeout, and Coach Diner over there can draw up the play that he wants.
And so Simpson brought it across the timeline and then called timeout. And with 1:29, all kinds of ways you can still work this. And it's really too early to figure out possessions because you can't count on the other people cooperating and how much time they may take off the clock. So We will definitely have 3 possessions left in this game, and that's if they milk it all the way down the shot clock each time. 48 the score, 129. We'll have to go ahead and say it, left in regulation.
That's right. We haven't had an overtime game all day. But we're
That's
a long
after
ways
3.
from even thinking
That's
about
3
that.
on the first day, and so
Lots.
much for those thought we might actually make it out of here early with getting started on time for a change. And it's not bad. Believe me, after what we've had the first 2 nights, this is considered early.
And a 129 to left to go in this ball game. That's a lot of possessions the way these 2 teams have played. You know, that could have been a little bit more conservative both ways, and it might have been a whole lot different than what we stand here at 48-48 with a minute and 29 seconds to go.
Okay, ball will be inbounded on the side. 129 left to go. 48, and the ball will be thrown way back in the backcourt to Simpson. It gives him time to look over the defense as he walks the ball up the court. He will run a weave and hand the ball to Mazer. Mazer looking for a cutter. Simonez shoots, scores.
And that's the shot. That's what I was afraid of, that they were going to go back door, and Simonez went back door and made the basket.
And the score is 50-48. All kinds of pressure right now as Cardinal Stritch turns up the defensive pressure. Man-to-man defense all over the floor. 4 guards, 4. Simpson on Murin, right side of the floor. Ball now being held by Sitzman. They've got an open look for 3. It is long, no good, and the rebound pulled down by Simonez for Cardinal Stritch. Outlet pass, and Simpson will slowly walk the ball up the court for Cardinal Stritch. Now, you do not have to foul if you're Briar Cliff. Still plenty of time and plenty of distance on between the shot clock and the game clock. It's about 16 seconds.
And it doesn't look like that they're going to foul. The Chargers are going to foul the Wolves. We're going to make them make a shot.
2-point game. Simpson with it into the lane. Dishes off, sink, shot, no good. Tip, and the rebound is controlled by Cardinal Stritch, and now they do have to foul, and they run down and foul Simpson from behind. Big rebound there, and it totally changed what you had to do in the basketball game.
It just bounced around, took an extra bounce, and bounced Cardinal Stritch way, and right there, the quickest man on the floor, Simpson, was able to corral the rebound and draw the foul.
It will be Simpson now going to the line.
And it's a 2-shot foul because they're over the limit at 10 or more. Got
Simpson,
a little bit of blood situation.
Simpson, a 72% free throw shooter, 67 out of 93 on the season. And so it will be Lone checking out of the game. Down on the end of the bench, trying to get him taken care of right now. Simpson to shoot a couple of free throws. We'll see if they call a timeout after the first one. Lets it fly, and this one is good. 8 points now for Simpson. It is 51-48. And whether or not they come through, boy, Cardinal Stritch has had a couple of tight ball games.
Oh, haven't they? But the Chargers, he makes this, you got to go down and score the quickest way you can and try to just attack the basket and get a layup.
And he hits the second one as well and then goes down to the floor, looks over at the official. 9 points. It is now 52-48. Still plenty of time. There's 16.9 left to go, but it is a 2-possession ball game, and the Chargers in a load of trouble right now.
A lot of trouble indeed, because, like I say, 16.9, you just drive it as hard as you can to the basket and force the Wolves to either foul you or give you a layup at the other end, and then you play hack as soon as they get it in and hope gets it down to 2 on the layup or the field goal if you're able to do that. You don't have to go for 3 here. Like I say, my thinking would be to get it to the other end as quickly as you can and attack the basket on the layup.
And Scott McCauley and I, which do our local high school and college games here in town, we talk a lot about taking the first quick available good shot.
Right.
And we'll see. Chargers, length of the floor to go. They ask the Stritch bench to sit down. And now the ball is handed, and we will look for the inbound pass, and they do get the ball inbounded to Otting. Otting hustles up the floor, just about loses the basketball. He's taking a lot of time, and he is going to travel with the basketball. turned the ball over to Cardinal Stritch with 10.6 left to go. It's almost like once he got trapped, did not know what he wanted to do.
And like I say, if he'd have maintained his dribble and just went ahead and attacked the basket, got a 2-point shot or a foul going to the basket. But
and you know what? It looked like that's the plan originally, but what it looks like maybe he actually was going to do was stop and then try to kick it back out to a trailer for the three.
But the three really wouldn't have done you any good because
it would have still been a possession game, exactly.
But where the three was going to be taken, it would take at least 2 seconds for the shot to get there, which got you down to about 8 seconds to go. And then you're going to have to foul and come down, and you wouldn't have time to do all that kind of stuff.
And you're not sure that that's exactly what he was trying, but he had something in mind when he tried to put on the brakes real quick and then turn around, face back out to the outside.
Good defense that time by the Wolves as they thwarted the effort of the Chargers and put them at risk. Were the Chargers, and Chargers turned it over, and now then Cardinal Stritch, they throw it in. They're going to get fouled immediately, but two possession, that's a good thing.
Well, and this has been, and you really can't fault the effort of either of these teams. It hasn't been lack of effort whatsoever in this case. 52-48, a 4-point advantage. 10.6 seconds left to go. Cardinal Stritch with the lead, and with the basketball, they do get it into Simpson, and it goes down to 10.6. It goes down to 10.6. Now Simpson will go to the line. Again, even if he hits both free throws, it's still a 2-possession ball game.
It's still a 2-possession, even if he misses both of them. And then you don't hardly have enough time to get all the way down to the other end, let alone foul, rebound, go back the other way. So,
and they're discussing the time here, it looks like.
10.3.
Now they're discussing which foul it is. 2 free throws coming up. And only one, Cardinal Stritch will take everybody off the lane except for Singh on the left side. Simpson with the first free throw. It is good. A little bit strong, but it rolled around the rim and dropped home. Simpson makes his way to double figures with 10, and it is 53-48, a 5-point advantage for the Wolves here. Everybody talking in the Cardinal Stritch lineup, making sure that they know who they have and how they're going to defend this next play. Simpson bounces it a few times. Lets it fly. Misses it, no good. Rebound to Shipley. Shipley runs the floor. Down to 7 seconds to play. Jump stop shot, no good. Rebound, putback is good, and a foul. A lot of time came off the clock, though, but give Otting credit for a field goal up to 6. It's a 2-point basket at this time, but he has a free throw coming up. So it is 53-50 with 2.5 left to go. Now, do you go ahead and make it and play defense, or do you miss it on purpose and try to tip it out for a 3?
You're not going to have time, because 2.5 seconds, as soon as somebody touches the ball, the clock starts. Well, if you tip it out to 3, it'll take longer than that for the ball to get out there to somebody in somebody's hand.
It's an awful hard tip, you're right.
You've got to make the free throw.
So you've got to make and then either steal or foul and then throw the length of the court.
Yeah. I mean, that's your only choice.
Okay.
To steal, make this, steal the inbounds pass. And if not, you got to foul immediately. I mean, I'm talking immediately, but like you say, if there was 5 seconds, that might work, trying to tip it out long to the 3-point line. But with 2.5 seconds, by the time you tip it out, time's going to expire by the time somebody gets it in their hand long enough to shoot it.
2.5 left to go. The team's finishing up their final words of instruction from their coaches. 53-50 the score. Cardinal Stritch, the number 6 seed, trying to survive the upset bid by unseeded Briar Cliff. Cardinal Stritch 29-5. This will be win number 30 if they secure it. Briar Cliff 21-10. As of right now, trying to keep their season from coming to an end. On the line is Zach Otting, 6'3" freshman. They're looking up at the time, the clock there, and with the miss, some time came off the clock, and that's what they're asking about as they go over now. And check with the scores table, and they're going to put back to 2.5. And another timeout on the floor. So 2.5 left to go. 53-50 the score. Timeout for the Chargers.
So didn't hit the rim, which that makes it ball out. I mean, so that's one strategy you can look. I mean, you purposely miss the rim, which makes it ball out for the other team. Now then, you're gambling on intercepting the pass. I'm Cardinal Stritch. What I do, you got the ball out. You can't run the baseline, but by the same token, what I do is I go ahead and throw it long, whether it's to a teammate or not.
Well, here's the question. It's 2.5, and he missed the rim, right? So he didn't
Correct.
hit anything. The clock never should have started, wasn't it?
That's
2.5 where we were.
That's why they put it back
we
to
knew they should have put
2.5.
some time back on.
So you understand what I'm saying? The Cardinal Stritch has the ball out underneath the Charger basket.
And cannot run the baseline then.
But you throw it way down here to a teammate, or even if they intercept it, it's not
well,
that
the
big a
whole
deal.
idea, though, is if you're going to gamble and do that, you've got to make sure it touches somebody.
Right.
The worst thing that could
Exactly.
happen for you is if you throw it and it goes out of bounds down here without touching anybody, you're giving the Chargers the ball underneath the basket.
They're going to line up here and go to the ball, so they're going to make sure that they meet the pass.
And if they catch
being
it, they may
Cardinal
throw the ball
Stritch.
straight up in the
Right.
air. Here we go. Waiting on the inbound. Having trouble getting it in. They do throw it, and they do throw it long, and it is going to be caught.
Well, it's a slow clock.
It is going to be caught and almost a tackle out near court as Wolfer goes up and basically caught it, and he just cradled it as soon as he caught it because he knew he was going to get hit. And the clock goes down to .7. One free throw will put an end to this game.
Yes.
And he will have 2 chances to hit one. Even if he misses, the rebounder is going to have to catch and just throw the ball down to the other end. It doesn't matter. This game is over as he hits the first free throw. 7 points, 6 in the second half for him. It is 54-50, and now it's just a matter of what this final score is going to be, and Cardinal Stritch is going to survive. Second free throw is good as well. After 8, it's 55-50. Long half-court shot is no good, and that is the final score. Cardinal Stritch 55 and Briar Cliff 50, and the quarterfinals are now set. We'll go over your scoring here in just a second, and then I will go over the matchups for tomorrow here before signing off. So here's the scoring in the game for tonight. First for Briar Cliff, led by scoring, is Jake Shipley with 12-11.